Huh. Look at that. Oh, we are tWoTcast episode 406.
No, he doesn't.
No. Okay.
All right, everyone, shut the f*** up. Let's ready to record. We like to start every show by yelling, "We are tWoTcast." Can you do that with me? On the count of 1, 2, 3, go.
We are tWoTcast. Now we can start.
The Wheel of Time, reread podcast, explicit in R, freaking rated. Jono's the wild card, always talking shit. Joe's the straight man, he's a total dick. Tom is still obsessed with X-Men.
Previously on X-Men.
We are
You're viewing tWoTcast, the Wheel of Time free podcast, now covering our meandering thoughts on the Wheel of Time in tier list form. With me, as always, is Jono.
Jono.
Oh, hey, man.
Oh, hey, man. Hey.
And I'm Joe. And Tom is always, of course, here when we're talking about the Wheel of Time, unless it's the TV show.
Shut your mouth. I've been there for all that as well, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Good
I like
call.
to think.
I meant now and in the future.
Ah, okay.
I love the idea that you've never missed an episode on your least favorite episodes.
Just
That's
trying to
great.
get streets ahead, Tom.
Yeah, streets ahead.
I've probably missed one. I like this new name.
Tonight we're Tomers at midnight. Tonight we're trying to...
Can't believe nobody's ever called me Tomers before. It's a great name.
It's interesting. Tom words would have been interesting. Speaking of which, we're tier listing the actual books tonight. I don't know how
That's what they look like.
they look like very old, dusty tomes on a wall. I was gonna say, before we really get into the tier listing, just a real quick and just in memory, just off the top of your head, what's your favorite and also your least favorite of the old Daryl K. Sweet covers?
Oh, the covers.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Just art wise, like what's your favorite immediately? Just pops in your head. What's your favorite?
Book
Go.
1, just because it's the first book I
alright.
bought. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's my favorite just because like that was in like 1994. Like, ooh, look at that. That's cool and different. Objectively, it's terrible, but that's okay. I
don't
still
know. I mean,
fucking love
art wise, it's spectacular. I mean, representative of the characters? No.
it. Close enough.
All right. Okay.
Probably my least favorite might be The Great Hunt. Showing anyone that, like, well, I don't know, Rand in Lord of Chaos is also kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think The Great Hunt, when you really think of what the fuck a Trollocs supposed to look like, and you just see that instead, you're just like, what? I think
It's disappointing.
I would
to say the
love to
least.
know really like what he was told to draw, because clearly he never read it.
Yeah.
Or I hope he was.
I feel like he was given good art prompts, I'm sure, and then just didn't understand, or was like, "I'll just take artistic license and give them helmets," or so. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, at what point in a painting, an actual oil painting, do you go, "Hey, can you erase that?" No, I can't. It's oil paint. You fucking idiot. You know, like kind of that. Like, at what point do you go, like, "All right, it's fine. I love your work, so I don't care." I don't know. Thomas, what's your favorite?
I think 1 is the only one I actually like, despite its flaws, just because of many of the reasons Jono just said. This is the first one.
Okay.
I was very excited about it. I think the one I like the least is also on my favorite book. It's The Shadow Rising, and the cover of that book is just like people sitting at a fireplace at a wagon. What the fuck are we doing?
Hanging out of the wagon.
It
Even,
doesn't have any.
Like the Dragon Reborn is bad, and there's like a 12-year-old parent on the side of the cover, like with an axe. I think an axe, but at least it shows like Rand grabbing a sword. Like I don't know, other covers look interesting, and that one's just like.
What about the Balsamon
like
too on the spine of Dragon?
I actually liked that. I was almost going to put that as one of my favorites.
Look, you've got it's your turn.
It's got
always struck me
multiple.
as like a picture in a mirror or something, or like a.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's not my favorite. That's why I'm not going to put it down. But it's one of my favorites. I like it because it has Balsamon, and so it gives you a lot of visual and a lot of the characters that up until that point you just seen Rand basically, or in Land and Moraine, I guess. But like picture wise, as of book 3, non-existent in terms of the other characters really. So like seeing Rand and Perrin and Matt and Ishmael and like just kind of cool, pretty cool, and some Aiel in the back and stuff. There was some good.
Yeah,
there was some
sorry.
good shit. And it's kind of exactly how I imagined the Heart of the Stone too. So I think like that's.
I do think
There's some decent stuff going on in book 3. That's all I'm saying. My favorite's Lord of Chaos. A Crown of Swords. You could kind of say like. I mean, Lord of Chaos is ridiculous. A Crown of Swords, although it's a little like silly looking, like I love all the blue and like the weird pit he's standing over, and then like he looks awesome in the red coat and they're tattered, so you can kind of see his tattoos glinting in the light. A lot of cool Rand shit going on in that cover.
What in the world? I couldn't remember all these. Gathering Storm is bad. Winter's Heart is bad.
There's some bad ones. There's some real bad ones.
Gathering Storm is actually my least favorite.
Knife of Dreams with the beer belly. That's not good.
I feel like Gathering Storm is really repetitive of Lord of Chaos, and I actually kind of like romantic blouse wearing Rand.
Path of
It
Daggers
is delightfully
good.
weird.
Yeah.
Fires of Heaven, they're just walking around. Crossroads of Twilight, good. Crown of Swords, weird, but fine.
I feel like Fires of Heaven is a good cover, but it's absolutely unremarkable in every piece of it. Like there's nothing like it's a good painting, but there's like nothing about it.
Winter's Heart, I guess, is fine.
Again, like some of the weirdest choices. It's like it's Perrin leading a bunch of dudes walking down like a snow. Like why that? Like there's so much that happens.
You know what the worst one is? The worst one's Knife of Dreams. Fat Perrin. I don't like it.
Is that supposed to be? There's some times
I look
at these. I'm not sure that's this guy.
That's
also
Matt ran at the wagon while I guess Egwene has to tend to the fire is also just terrible. Is that all right?
Yeah, but at least they're like proportioned well and they look normal. Perrin just looks like a rotund old man in front of a table of maps.
Knife of Dreams is bad.
What is it?
I'm trying to find the Gathering Storm just to double check. Yeah,
don't
the
forget to hit
Gathering
that
Storm has a
like button, everybody.
Gathering Storm has a giant like spoiler on it. He's one-handed. He's
well, yeah, but I thought that was interesting when they did that because, you knew that I was actually kind of thinking I was like, are they gonna spoil? Like, if they put Rand on the next cover, is they gonna have spoilers in it? And they did it cleverly enough by covering it up with like cloth, but like you can still tell it's gone.
You can tell it's gone.
That's
like,
that's iffy at best.
Why would he have a fucking like scarf across his arm unless he was missing an arm? Like it's just like a weird like.
Yeah, it's really weirdly.
Let's not pay attention to
if
this.
you don't know what you're looking for and you just kind of glance at the cover and you're not like somebody that kind of like pores over details and stuff, you might not notice it. I don't know.
Imagine pre-internet when you're waiting for the Shadow Rising to come out and it finally arrives. And you're like, I can't wait. And you're like, look at this book and like wagon.
Oh,
the Great Hunt's fine. Fires of Heaven is weird. It looks like a weird game of hide and seek. Knife of Dreams is just terrible. What are they doing? This cover.
Glenn said the Derek K. Suite. By the way, we used to say Derek K. suck on our podcast all the time, and it's really hard for me not to say that. I keep automatically flowing into that.
I think
to like stop myself.
Yeah, let's not.
I know, but I'm just saying I have to like take a beat and stop myself from saying that. Book is the inside cover of the Eye of the World riding through Bearline. No, yeah, I do like that that painting. It's really good.
Do you have that to put up?
No, not that inside cover. No.
I will say this about the Daryl K. Suite stuff. One of the things it's extremely like noticeable, right? Like you know a Daryl K. Suite cover.
Yeah.
Whenever you walk through it, well, at this point, you know who does.
Yeah, his art's very distinctive. I will say that.
Yeah, like you walk through like a Barnes and Noble, you're like, ooh, that artwork looks kind of makes me want to grab that next book. And like it's a Daryl K. Suite cover for someone else. I think he did some of like the Terry Brooks stuff. Like he did a whole bunch of like that type of like fantasy right around that time. He was fucking everywhere. Ubiquitous Derek K. Suite.
I never thought about it. Like when I was buying the books, I was just like, "This is the cover."
But I don't rate a book by its cover. We're not rating the book.
Yeah,
by its cover. We're just talking about the cover art.
There's not a lot of books with painted covers where I pick it up and I'm like, "Great." You know what I mean? Like,
in fairness,
like
yeah.
Trade dress or book without art, I'm like, oh, this is a neat design. But like, you know, if you're a painted cover in general, I'm just like,
I don't know. Okay. What's that guy that did the Memory of Light and then does?
Michael Whalen.
Yeah, Michael Whalen does.
You had a panel with him, you asshole.
I know.
Well, Larry Elmore. Right. I mean, the Dragon.
Oh, Larry Elmore.
Just relentless.
But like, just amazing. But like,
that's how you do it.
Whalen's spectacular, and those Stormlight Archive covers, man,
they're fantastic. They are
just
fantastic.
Like the breadth of the landscape that is unfolding in front of the people. At least on the first few covers, I don't think he does it so much anymore.
Just not anything I ever really noticed when reading novels.
Like the book one, Stormlight Archive, like the storm swirling in the sky, and it looks enormous, and all the crevasses. What's it called? What are those called?
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. What down the underneath?
Chasms? They're chasms.
Yeah, the chasms. Yeah,
the chasms.
If you turn the books over, you'll actually see the artwork more.
Also, I really like how Brandon puts an emphasis on the art. Like he makes all those inside, talking about inside art, like those, whatever those pages are in the beginning and out the end of a book. What are those called? Binding pages. Whatever those blank, they're usually blank is the point.
Yeah.
Or sometimes in fantasy books they put maps there. But also, which I love. Yeah. But like, you know, I like how he goes out of his way to get like really amazing art to go in those spots.
I do think he actually really appreciates it. And I love the fact that they chose like that Michael Whalen has kind of had that continuity because he was one of the, you know, kind of preeminent author or artists for you know, his stuff, and doing it for I think Wheel of Time I think makes a lot of sense to, you know, do that for at least the 14th book.
You think Brandon art directs those books or a team of monkeys in a basement does it?
I don't know. I've heard him specifically.
Well, they're not
speak
monkeys.
about
They're
those
under
inside pages.
They're
So maybe he
Game
was
Mor-
just like,
shouldn't call
I need
Mormon wives
beautiful
monkeys.
art, and they deliver it for him. I don't know. You know, who knows?
Not okay.
Either way, there's still an emphasis or an emphasis on it, and I appreciate that.
Mm. Glenn got it. The end plate and the front plate. That's it. That's right.
Is that right?
That's it.
I would have known.
The very last page that's glued to the cover itself.
I know you could have made up 2 words though and put them, and I would have been like, "Oh, thank you."
Top 3 is 4,
12,
12, and
and
6.
6.
4.
Interesting.
4 is the wagon. 12's missing a hand, and 6. 6 is romance novel.
The romance novel, like it's tough to imagine, like really.
Oh, I didn't know this. The leather mounds are filled with artwork. Beach said.
Oh, fuck yeah!
I almost got that last one in leather just for the fuck of it.
Are the leather bounds the Kickstarter one?
No, that's the Kink Starter. That's why it's leather bound.
Gotcha.
Kickstarter is how he paid for his sextant.
It's a 5 out of 10.
Thanks.
I mean, it's worth saying, but
5 out of 10 is not bad for me. You know that. The shotgun approach to jokes. If I can get 5 out of 10 every time, fucking going every time.
you have to get a good one once in a while.
Anyway, all right.
That's what I'm gonna do for the rest of the episode. Just rate down his one-liners.
Just rate
Oh,
jokes. That's gonna be the next. Our next episode is just tier listing Jono jokes.
Oh, that's pretty good. You know,
That's pretty good. 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Good one.
Oh,
All right. Well, spoilers for the entire fucking series. What?
So, question for Tom.
Yeah.
Because so with jokes making fun of the Wheel of Time show, would those automatically be S tier?
No, I don't know. I'll just see how I feel about it in the moment.
You know, and I was gonna come up with like a funny fake title for like season 1 as a whole, or like season 2 as a whole. Like,
I've got plenty.
like I don't know, like which one of these 5 Taviran is the Dragon Reborn kind of joke, kind of thing, or something like that. But and just put it on the list. But then when I switched to images, which we'll see, but like
We should tier list our favorite Taviran.
I switched to images, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that. He'll know right away it's a book, not a book title.
Yeah, he somehow figured out which one of these wasn't a book title. Good job.
I mean, well, you know, like if it was written, he might not see it right away, and then it'd be like 10 minutes into the show, and he'd be like, "What the fuck?" Yeah.
If you'd done a pair of artwork, he may not have noticed.
You slide in screenshots from the show as book covers, and like, look.
Anyway, spoilers. This is our episode covering our favorite books of the Wheel of Time, the tier list, and I don't know. I guess we can try to figure this out. What criteria are we basing this off of, John? We were kind of talking about it before the show, before you hopped on, but
just whatever the fuck you like, man.
I guess kind of, yeah. But there's like, that's all opinion. I don't know. Well, it's all opinions.
What do you mean it's all opinion, as opposed to the other tier listing?
I just said it's all opinions.
I mean, my problem is, how am I not going to go S?
We have that voicemail somewhere. SSSSCCCCOOOT.
Okay.
H. Scratch.
I'll try to. I can't see that. There's no titles on these books.
You don't know
Yeah,
them by
you're gonna
heart?
have to remember the titles, Tom.
Yeah. Ooh, and I love that you got news.
Yeah, we're including news.
Yeah, all right. So we got 15 books. Where's the companion?
Jokes about Jono are better than jokes about Jono. Oh,
That's true too.
Interesting.
You should check out my penis. It's not a boy penis.
I haven't watched season 2 yet.
It's not a boy
Felicia, we're not gonna talk about the seasons at all. So don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I just heard it was worse.
Felicia,
She's right.
You're not wrong.
no, it's not worse. It's better.
But she,
No, it's
she
better.
heard.
It's better.
She
It's
heard
better
right.
than
It's worse. It's much worse.
So Tom's a piece of shit.
Start with the Eye of the World.
Yeah, there you go.
Eye of the world.
Oh, it comes with music? I wish I were pre-recorded. That's S.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
What did you say? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I love Eye of the World. I like just the endings confusing and problematic.
All right. Okay. I like that idea. Actually, we can talk about like how relevant the ending feels, and the rest of it too, because
it's fantastic though.
This is a problem I have that I feel like has gone rampant. Like I've heard like over the last few years. I'm not confused by the end of the book at all.
I'm saying even like reading it now for like the 15th time, there's like, and it's short, it's remarkably short, but there's like 4 fucking pages where I'm like, what? Like where like Rand goes from one spot to another, and there's like a weird cutting of the cord thing, and like all the powers going crazy, and the powers described in a weird way that makes no sense for the rest of the series. There's just like one part where I'm like, huh?
That shit doesn't bother
me. Let me try to analyze this again and again and again, and I can't. Like, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It's only confusing in hindsight, and even the confusion is like, I feel like this breaks a couple of rules that are made later, but like in general, like I don't think it's confusing at all. Like I don't never got that movement that I saw crop up online and like Gattersteen.
See, Glenn said A. I'm kind of leaning that way. I think A.
This is the first fucking book. You fucking treat this with respect. Also, why is it that the book is bigger than where it's going to be fitting?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about that.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
There's plenty of space horizontally.
I'm worried about your bookshelves.
I'll figure it out.
Like, it's the first book. It's yes, there are a couple flaws. There are some things that, like, you know, hey, it doesn't quite always work out 100%. But this is what like drew every single one of us.
It does excitedly get me into the series, I have to say.
Yes. Yeah. And like, there's nothing more amazing than I love the prologue. I love the homeliness of the first few chapters.
The ending is like when Papa eats a can of spinach.
It does come on strong.
It kind of is. It's like really fast and crazy, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
And it ends up got the wrong iron content that explains everything.
It's supposed to feel like that.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
You can just play that sound. I know it is to an extent. I mean, we've said this many times. I think he just didn't have it fully fleshed out in his head what he was going to do with it all at that point. And he wrote a few things that he was like, scrap that. And later on, he just did something different. And that's fine. It's just one of those things like where now I go back and read it and I'm like, huh?
But he didn't have to have it fully fleshed out then because you didn't know what the fuck he was talking about either. So
exactly.
You're only confused in hindsight.
Yeah,
I feel like
you're right. I remember being confused in regular sight when I first read it. I was like,
tell you, I feel like the confused people aren't very bright and just can't.
Oh, is that what it is?
No, I feel like the people that are confused are stupid enough to want this book to be A tier when it should be F.
Jesus,
damn. All right, Tom says that. Hey, Dana.
Jono, Tom, I went with solidarity for the naming.
DK Moon said it would be B. Does S tier stand for slog books? No, not in this case.
Not yet. We'll see. We'll see what the slog books end up.
I don't believe in that either.
I'm kind of on Tom's page on that one.
It really depends on when you're reading these things. Like reading them when they came out was, in fairness, like it was the ultimate trick from Robert Jordan to go from book 9 to New Spring to 10, and you're just kind of like, you've got to be kidding me. It may have been 10 to New Spring. Either way, like that was the follow-up to 9 was New Spring and Crossroads of Twilight to go back in time briefly, and you go, what the fuck is happening?
But as you were reading them in real time, you weren't just like, oh, you're like, oh, great.
Bullshit.
You know? A new book. I'm excited.
100%, but you still wanted to see the next Rand chapter in Crossroads of Twilight, which good luck on that one eventually.
I think the way that it became the quote unquote slog is because so many of us reread them before every new book comes out.
And it got harder and harder.
And then when you hit there, you were just like, oh, this is taking a long time.
I disagree. I think it was a slog live. I think like as you were waiting for him, that was the slog.
Go ahead and put this up here while we're.
That's 100% correct.
Talking about other stuff.
I gotta say, my last reread too, like every part that I was just like, oh, here we go with this bullshit. And it was over in like 40 pages in like 2 chapters. And I was like, that wasn't bad at all.
Sounds like a sex novel.
Oh, man.
Like,
okay.
Joe, you're the final name change.
I was like, oh.
I mean, you have to be virgin, Cola.
Should we just always do a Norm Macdonald bit?
I thought the either wall was going to be a slam dunk guess, so we'd move on. I was trying to set some standards so we'd kind of know where to go. So
maybe I just need a little more discussion. Hey, there's only 15 topic points.
Yeah, we've like 15
We've
books.
been going through 40.
30 minutes in, so you know, across 7.5 hour episode.
Do Winter's Heart.
All right, Winter's Heart.
S.
Yeah, I'm with Jono on that one. That's fucking S tier. All right, here's why though. The cleansing of the taint is fucking spectacular.
That alone is one of the most amazing things.
Like, there's fight. It's not just Rand. Like, he's busy. Everyone else is fighting. It's awesome.
Yes, Elsa Penfeld plays a critical role in this.
Yeah, your favorite character. Elsa Penfeld. We technically, this is actually a horrible, not just because of the fucking cleansing. This is a terrible battle for the Dark One. He loses 2, halfway still competent. What the fuck are they called? Forsaken.
That's true.
It's not great for him. But the whole thing in Farmatting though, the Farmatting stuff is some of the most interesting. Watching Rand is a miserable person at this point, but at the same time, just
I don't know, not quite. Character. I think not quite. Don't you think? Like this is like kind of before, like this is like peak Cool Rand before he really starts going dark. I feel like
Cool Jerk. Oh, I'd listen to Cool Rand the song. But no, I'm talking
Rand.
It did sell us. But I mean, like he's a miserable person, as an actual person. Like he's cold. There's nothing happening in him. When he kills either Torum or the other one, and the other one gets away, and his heart rate never moves far enough for men to even recognize the fact.
No, yeah,
holy
great.
Shit!
Are you talking about Roshad and?
Yeah. Torval, Torm Rytons later. Sorry, Torval and Gedwin. That's
Kisman and
losing
Roshad.
my mind here. I've been drinking since earlier. Just leave it at that.
Since earlier.
Oh, Glenn said I hated the Farmatting stuff with a passion. Why? It's fantastic. Rand going into that city where he can't channel and all that shit that happens in there is awesome.
I can see being annoyed by that and having a lot of anxiety because of it and feeling like you're going to lead to a point where Hero loses his power. Like, because I felt like that. I was like, we're not going to do this, are we? And like, I did not feel like dealing with Rand getting captured again. I was like, here we fucking go. So
okay.
Even though you didn't know where it was going, I felt like in the back of my mind the whole time I was just like, and not like tension in a good way, but like in a bad way.
I hear what you're saying, and I would counter that with, for me, the Farmatting stuff wasn't like the hero losing his powers. It was proving that he's still a badass without the one power. And like, and I like so many, like I can remember arguing with people in like high school about like Rand's cooler than Paula Atreides or whatever, like that kind of thing, like arguing about like fantasy characters or something, and then being like,
also Paula,
like Superman's better than Goku or whatever the fuck was on our topics that day. But like,
I just meant
that is one of those moments that just like shows he's still awesome and he doesn't need the fucking one power to be awesome.
But that's hindsight. You didn't know where it was going as it was going.
Oh yeah, true.
I totally understand the anxiety of thinking like, man, if we end up with Rand in a prison cell at the bottom of some fucking tower and the mayor's being a bitch and the Isle have to come, I'm like, I don't want it. I don't want it. So,
hey, good news. It actually did happen, technically. I think I've never really considered it that way because like there is nothing more annoying really than, and it has to happen sometimes. Sometimes it happens well, sometimes it happens poorly, that the main character who's become so like incredibly strong has to be kind of reined in somehow. And oftentimes one of my biggest criticisms for Sanderson is that it happens a very similar way. In this case, Kaladin losing his mind, where the fuck. With Rand here, I never really thought about the idea that actually he is in fact, just like in book 6, put in another box, this one being
it's the size of a city
prison.
But
yeah. And kind of can't really do anything. The only difference, though, is that he purposely chose this as a brilliant countermeasure to whatever the fuck they were going to do. I think that's what kind of adds to it. But you're not wrong, though.
No, in hindsight, it's very, very cool, and you see that he's almost wielding his powers to Teir, and he does that more and more the further we get along. But like as it's going along, you don't know that, and it's just like, Jesus, here we go.
Spoilers for Stormlight Archive? Did we spoil Stormlight?
Oh, I did. Technically,
No.
yes, by saying,
You son of
he
a bitch.
loses powers every same way. Every way the same. Every time the same. Whatever the fuck.
Spoilers for another book series we're not talking about.
No, I guess that's fair. Wait,
Yeah,
when,
I mean, she's
when did
not wrong.
when did the last book of that series come out? What's the spoiler warning?
Well,
cut
5's
off
like
there?
about to come.
Yeah, it's in 2 months or something like that.
Yeah, December, I think. Spoilers for Joe's reading of Stormlight Archive. I still haven't read 4.
Spoilers for Norm Macdonald's Weekend Update. I don't know. What spoilers for every Austin Powers movie.
At any rate, all right. Winter's Heart. Tom? Where do you put it?
S.
A is fine, but you guys are both S, so I don't really care. I already told you.
I'm gonna go S. I'm gonna agree with Jono. I was gonna. You almost had me going down to A, but
no, I'm very fine with this. It's very cool. I love that book. But like I said, like I'm trying, like what I'm just like I don't know. Like I'm sure I won't put everything at S, but it's close.
It's gonna be tough. Like that's gonna be the real challenge. Is like,
wait, Way of Kings came out before RJ died.
Before what?
RJ died?
No, it didn't. Way of
I
Kings
was gonna
didn't
say,
come out
no, it
before.
didn't. Yeah, right? No, he was
Glenn-
making like Mistborn back then, dude.
Yeah, that's right. Glenn, check your facts. All right, we trust you.
C for Winter's Heart, Glenn said.
Whoa, Glenn, check your facts. Fucking A.
I wore an Austin Powers shirt.
Fair enough. All right.
It just said, "I love gold."
Well,
And
that's
somebody walks by and they're like, "Whoa, spoilers! I haven't seen the second one."
Should we tier rank like the Jono comedies later?
Yeah, sure.
No one wants that. No one wants that. All right, next one.
Right. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Do Knife of Dreams.
Ooh,
Kniffy of Drums.
oh man, they are going to be all S. Oh, the fucking cover art.
I'm telling you, dude, he looks like a portly old man. He looks almost as old as the dude sitting next to him.
That looks like he's doing like a weird version of from Wayne's World, which I hope Tom is just yelling in the background with his headphones on.
Just proportionally his arms. Look how short his arms are. It doesn't make any sense.
It's hip, it's cool, it's Noah's Arcade. Just like
All right. Knife of Dreams. I know it finally sews up Perrin's Malden experience, I think, right?
yes, it's very maudlin.
It's definitely not S for me. So that's finally there.
My first instinct was to go S because it's his last book. But I think that feels like otherwise why have categories?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's there's some cool shit that happens here. Like you said, we have Malden, which is both an interesting kind of just
Matt
sequence in
fights some
general,
Sean Shan at the end. What else is going on? There's some Black Tower shit right at the end.
I believe this is the last time where Rand's in Teir, if you remember, with the Death Gates and all that shit, and he mows down 100,000 Trollocs. So there's some cool stuff.
Yeah.
But if we're trying to give a real fucking, S through F, which suck through fuck, let's give this a B.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say even C.
Well, you're a cunt. I apologize.
I mean, the Malden fight is fun, but like the length of time it took to drag out and finally finish, like I didn't feel like as satisfied with the end because I'm just like, God, finally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Dr. Horror, thoughts on Knife of Dreams? You're still on mute.
Aaron just described his plan and ended by saying nailed it.
What's the end of that book?
Malden, finally.
What's Rand doing in that book? He's not in it.
He just murdered 100,000 Trollocs that were coming after him in Teir. I think this is when he started setting up some shit for what does happen at the very end?
Yeah, I don't know. A or B.
Again, Malden's the big part of the end. Matt fights some Sean Chan. Like he uses what's her name?
Yeah, B. is
Tuan
fine.
and like not Tuan, but like specifically somebody knows where all the Shanchan are encamped, and him and the Band of the Red Hand like hunt down.
Oh yeah, so I love the weird political intrigue, like that whole part. Like that's a very interesting plot that feels like it could have gone a little bit further. And I don't know like how Sanderson kind of knew how to deal with it because he was kind of given like, hey, finish this shit. But I did find like I've always found the Shanchan like political thing very interesting, and then it kind of comes to a weird conclusion largely like here and then right afterwards.
Yeah.
Which is a little dissatisfying or unsatisfying, I suppose.
I'm gonna stick to C. This is
right.
a C. This is a C book for me.
Oh, I wouldn't go lower than B on that.
Okay.
What did I say originally? A or B?
You said B originally.
All right,
B.
cool. Why doesn't it fit on the bookshelf though?
Listen, don't worry about it.
What are we gonna do when we get our first A?
I'll stick it off to the side.
It's gonna look
Again, I have
insane.
plenty of horizontal real estate. It's not a big deal.
Oh, you don't?
I have enough.
The Great Hunt.
The Great Hunt.
That fucking book work. That.
John
S.
O'Brien.
No, I'm kidding. I will like instantly. I'm just like S because like
S. I'm S.
Oh, really?
I'm not even close to saying anything else.
Go for it. Tell me why.
Tell me why.
I have great affection for the first 6 books. I love the ending of this book. Like the last 100 pages is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing. Might as well just like volunteer for Bukkake. Like it's amazing. Like it's
all of it's great. I love the introduction to Lanfear, the introduction to the Isle. I like everything that Perrin's going through. Matt, not Matt. Matt's not good in this.
Yeah, Matt still sucks. Matt still
Rand.
sucks.
The what versions? DK?
More
Let-
loyal. Tom's back. Like I don't have any. I
Paperback.
have no problem with
Paperback
any of this.
versions.
There's a Toad Palace.
Oh
More
yeah, the Toad
ways.
Palace.
I can't disagree.
I don't know. I don't know how it would go lower than S unless you want me to nitpick the second book of the series. I fucking love it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think
That's the
there's.
problem. That's the problem with ranking the books. I'm not gonna like nitpick them. Like I fucking.
Well,
love
not yeah. You don't need to
Yeah.
nitpick, but
But have you thought about the fact that Matt still sucks? So one of your first main characters sucks, and
I never really liked Matt that much anyway. It's not that great.
I did. This one's not. This
Fucking
isn't S for me. This is more like A or
I,
B, which
It's
is
up
why
to
I was on
me.
C for Knife of Dreams. You gotta remember,
it's
we're
up
we're
to
ranking
me
the
for
books
an S
against
or A on
themselves.
this.
Well, like I said, I don't care if they're all S.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
I
with
mean,
S. I'll be honest. Again, the last 100 pages, amazing. The first, like the Boars chapter, amazing.
not
Ultimate
wrong.
Chapter as a prologue.
Everything in Fall
like-
Dara is great.
Everything in Fall
great.
Dara is amazing. Like, the fucking like the nailed mirror trial. Spoilers for that guy. Like that's like, some of the most like just demonic shit happens right here. And we get the fucking awesome Shinarans kind of really getting character.
But if
Fuck
you
it,
love
S,
the first 6, which one's your favorite?
Yeah, Trollocs
One.
and Mirror are still scary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll be honest. Book 1, like hard on every fucking time. Also, I did do some Viagra before I joined this podcast.
Well, that's normal, right? It's
Well,
part of
yeah.
your normal routine.
Great
So S for
routine.
2? S for book
Yeah.
2?
S for book 2, man.
Okay.
It'd be weird.
What's
It's gonna be weird to me if we're not majority S on these.
I mean, that might be, but again, it's just this is just how we feel about the fucking books, man. You know what's not going to be S? News, pring.
See. I guess Crown. Why not Crown of Swords?
S?
Why not Crown of Swords?
Just kidding. Also, good gym day for him, by the way. That bicep,
ripped.
tricep, deltoid, all looking great.
That's his profile photo.
Yeah.
Third,
Let's see what
third
mine
crap.
looks like. Oh, it's nothing at all like that.
Yeah, he's ripped.
No,
Yes.
I'm also
Just
not standing
thirst
anywhere
trap.
close to this. How do you deal with it? Good enough.
Jono, what are you doing?
I don't know where my camera is. Just showing into the fucking middle. I'll just do my shoulder muscles later.
What happened in Crown of Swords?
What didn't happen in Crown of Swords? We still have the largest drought in history, which of course is a S tier for those who are meteorologically inclined.
As for Sneaky gets the horn. Okay. Oh, Sneaky.
Again, Crown of Swords. Which character? How do you want to
Sammy
start?
fighting Shadow Logoth, I assume. Yeah.
100% amazing.
Crown of Swords is a C.
He takes over Ilion, and not as a conqueror, but as a king, because they wanted him.
He fights all those weird guys.
Well, yeah.
Robert Jordan's like, what if he fought a midget, a normal man, a tall guy, and like a really long guy?
Yeah, just in the middle. Is this the book where he also asked whether or not he was banging his cousin?
Maybe?
Or was that 6 or 7 where he is really concerned of whether or not Elaine's his cousin? And he's just like, well, but how close would they be if they were farmers that fucked? Because that's one of the most underappreciated.
Note that he's hiding his much smaller left arm.
Yeah.
It's funny because like this pose and I guess a memory of light, but like there's a couple poses that there's a couple angles that you could draw someone's body and not really show off that they're missing an arm, and yet Daryl K. Sweet was like, why not Rand just face forward on on book 12? Anyway, sorry.
There's already a precedent for him just being ripped.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
I think the first time you read it too, it's like it's fucking crazy that he gets a crown like freely given to him the first time. Like the ending does like carry a lot of impact.
Yeah, he's a legitimate king, and I wish there were more of it. I really appreciate the weird, like, just I don't know the right thing about Ilion. I feel like that was one of the most interesting kind of like countries that was put down. Like it kind of made sense as an economy. It kind of made sense as a lot of things. And when Perrin goes there in book 3, like you want to read more about it, and then he goes there. And all of a sudden, now he's king of Ilion. Not just conqueror, but legitimate king of Ilion. And you think, like, well, we're about to find a new base of operations.
I'm always surprised it happens in book 7. I was like, oh, wow. I was just, like, looking back and, like, Samael was around for a while. Like, it took a while for Ren to become king of Ilion, right? Like, no, real early.
Yeah, halfway through. Again, at this point, he's got, like, the entire southeast of all of, I hate the term Randland. He's got the entire east.
Randland.
It all seems like it's going to fall into his pocket. Then it kind of goes backwards in book 8.
So books, if you think of 6 and 9 as like,
oh, I do
huge end battle, awesome shit going on. Like 7 and 8 are like less so to me. So not, I would say A. I'm just saying not S.
Book 8? Are you kidding me? Book 8 has
they're
him
great
going
books. They're all great
suicidal.
books. Jono.
Yeah.
Trying to list them against themselves.
Are you talking about Wheel? It's like one power battles, or like just battle battles?
No, just like end fight scenarios.
I don't know about that.
Like book 8 is cool, but it's kind of book 1 style where it's a little confusing.
Wait, why are we on 8?
Scrambling and crazy.
Yeah.
Crown of Swords is 7.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Saying, we're just discussing. We're discussing. I'm kind of giving you my reasons for not putting 7 at a higher.
You know what I want? I wish that people could understand and I'm sure they've done it.
I'm an A.
A works for me. Yeah. All
right.
I wish people understood the genesis for this terrible, terrible production called tWoTcast, which was us yelling at each other drunk as fuck 15 years ago. Again, not dissimilar from probably how most of you guys started off with this. But it would be like, wait, which one are we going for?
B's for this one. Oh, and a C. Oh, I already showed DK.
Ooh, a C.
There's no C.
Matt and Pink.
Oh my God. Is this when Matt leaves?
Yeah, you don't see Matt for a whole book.
Wait, is Matt gone after this book or during this book?
No, after this.
So this is the most amazing fucking escape from Abu Dar. Are you fucking kidding me? This may be an S tier.
All right, we might need to add a God tier.
That's going to be spring.
The bar was set high for Doom as well. I agree. So yeah, that's kind of
100%. Tom, what's your next choice?
So many people are going to be so upset all the time.
Glenn said some weird thing about the Way of Kings. I was thinking the Way of Kings was published before RJ died because Sanderson had written Way of Kings Prime, the original edition of the book, but it wasn't published.
Yeah. So to
That's
Glenn's
like-
point,
So he had a draft.
yeah, no, but like Sanderson has always done a very interesting job of like publishing.
Oh yeah,
the
he's
shit
been talking about the
got.
Way of Kings forever. I mean, that Stormlight forever in terms of
I
like
think
this is
he
going to be my
published-
big thing. Yeah.
Like I think on his website though, like it may have been either free or for money. Like actually published what he originally wrote. So like it was actually readable by the time.
Speaking of Sanderson, let's do Towers at Midnight.
A for Ideal Woman Lost, Found, and then Dies.
Yeah, is that book too? That
It's
makes
very
sense.
true.
Get me some maps.
Very true. Towers of Midnight. What is that? Where am I?
Sandy's.
That's book 13. That's I don't know what to do with the Sanderson books because it's not an insult. Like some of them,
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have quite the attachment. Right? People talk
Yeah.
about the first 6. Like for me, it's the first 7. The 7th book I bought was still in hardback because it
Yeah.
hadn't been paperbacked yet. So like everything that comes afterwards is a new book to me, quote unquote. Only 20 years later, 25 years later, it's a disturbing number. But I don't know. So at this point, he's gotten his rapport down much better with Matt. We go into the Tower of Genji.
You think it's much better?
I don't think it's
much better.
I don't think it's much better until 14.
I still think it's much better with Matt versus the
right.
first time I read Matt Cawthon. I was like, "Who the fuck is this?" In book 12.
Maybe he didn't write that chapter.
I just don't think he ever gets
We
it.
don't know.
we
don't know.
It's true. I'm gonna go with either a B or an A.
I think Crossroads.
B. You know what? Nope. Fuck it. B. I'm gonna go B because you
Yeah, I
can't
think
go
Crossroads.
with.
Yeah, there's no ors. We've discussed this in other
Yeah,
episodes.
that's why I said B. God damn it.
Is it better
Is
than
this
Max
the-
Dreams?
Is this the attack on the tower?
Yes, it is.
Fuck. All right, well, it's got to be a
just
B.
ruined
then.
Joe's mind.
Yeah, you did because I fucking love that scene. Wait, are you
What
sure?
happened?
Is it not 12? That's 12.
What happens in Gathering Storm?
12 is the Attack on the Tower.
We're ranking it live on the internet. We're like, what happens in that book?
What happened here? No, it's gotta be. It's gotta be.
No, she gets captured in 10. She dicks around in 11, and then 12 is the Attack on the Tower.
Okay.
God damn it! Let's double check that. Someone who's clearly not typing things. Wheel of Time.
Is Towers of Midnight when Rand goes crazy? Towers of Midnight, when he kills.
Gathering Storm is tower attacks.
Fuck.
Oh, it's Towers of
All
Midnight.
right, this is.
He kills Grendel, almost kills Tam, goes to the mountain, all that stuff.
I think
Yeah.
C is. I think C is for Crossroads for me. I mean, not Crossroads. This one.
Towers of
Towers of Midnight.
This is a good show, everyone. Right?
Matt's
We know
on the
our
tap.
shit.
Matt's on the cover. I got confused. Yeah.
I'll say
Fade some
B.
gold.
I'll say B.
Oh, is it Veins of Gold? Is in. Well, there's a couple of Veins of Gold. Like when I
B?
think of Veins of Gold,
Jono
that's
B?
when. I'll be honest. We could possibly go BC before Crossroads. That's not right.
No
B.
more
Yeah, B.
this
B.
or that. Just pick one.
B.
All
All
right.
right, I said C. You guys said B. That's fine.
All right,
all right.
moving on to Shadow Rising.
The Shadow Rising. Where the fuck am I? Okay.
S. Look at the artwork. S.
I hated
Look at that wagon.
I hated that wagon part.
It makes no
I mean,
sense.
Kadir they have wagons. It's not insane.
Yeah, the whole thing. What you've done if it was like that wagon with just a giant skin sack blown up behind it.
Hey, Joe.
If there
Joe,
was a Macy's Day Parade Kadir in the background, I'd be like, what? Holy shit.
That doesn't happen until the next book. Joe, pull that cover up again.
Okay.
I have a question for you guys. Do Trollocs have snipers?
They technically have bow and arrows, bows and
arrows. Why did that Trolloc take the trouble to get to the top of that tower of rock?
Look at the top right. Is that the top right you're talking about?
Yeah, he's on that little. He's on that little like that butte.
The amount of time it took to get up there just to look at what, and you can't communicate with anybody else. You're not grunting down to the ground, and then you got to climb back down to join the battle.
He's grunting down to that one in the crevasse. See the one in the crevasse?
Unless they have snipers, or I guess it's some sort of jump bag at the bottom where you can just fall off backwards and land.
They've got sniper scopes on their bows.
Anyway, S tier. F.
Yeah. I mean, I have reasons why, but like, yeah, I agree.
Go for him, please. I don't want to dominate, but go on.
I mean, the red frame doorway alone, just the Kadir
Field, the history of the Isle,
loses her fucking mind.
It's incredible. It's the best book. It's my favorite book.
I don't think that there has ever been.
It's either this or 1 or 5 or 6.
This is Ruidian, right?
Yeah. That's what Tom was saying. Yeah. Well, you actually said it. Yeah, the red field.
I think of Fires of Heaven.
Redstone. I don't think there's ever been a better sequence of events, like as far as a book storytelling device goes, than the History of the Aiel. That like maybe the most like beautiful, profound, fucking terrifying thing ever done.
It's just a peeping Tom.
Tom
better have binoculars. Heard about these
what's going on in those wagons? Oh, is that a sweat tent?
You know, he's looking for like skin sex.
He's just waiting for that flap to open on the tent for like the sweat tent for like 5 seconds.
Who's not? It's getting steamy in there. But anyway, so
the Shadow Rising is the Battle of Two Rivers, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, fuck.
Battle of Two Rivers.
Like you're over right there.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite stories of the entire series.
I mean,
the only problem is we also has the annoying thing that is like Perrin not being able to talk to Fael. And I blame Fael just as much as I blame Perrin. That's briefly annoying and therefore docks it 0 points. It's fucking S tier.
Ruidian 2 fin trips and Lanfear gains weight.
She does gain weight. She is not on her GLP-1 right now.
Like if this series never existed and the History of the Isle or the Battle for the Two Rivers were just like novellas that just existed, I'd be like telling everybody in the world they're the greatest books that were ever written.
They're incredible. They're incredible. The fact that that's in a fucking yeah.
I mean, Muradin eats his own eyeballs in this book. It's fucking amazing. No one even remembers that poor sucker.
No one does.
He ripped his own eyeballs out of his face and then chewed on them.
So much incredible stuff happens here, right? Like so much. Like, man, this is the shit that I can just get blasted to, like every fucking
Christian?
week. God, how is this not like
Thomas Shirtlow season 3? Or we'll watch it.
Man,
we'll watch it. We'll see.
Holy shit! So that's a terrible point that I can't wait to watch Tom.
I mean, I think we're all in agreement.
Tom may actually become Muradin. Tom may become Muradin, just ripping his own eyebrows out watching season 3.
Tom watching season 3. We'll live stream it. We'll just live Tom watching the show, and then like every episode, he'll just get more and more like frothing in his mouth and just clawing his eyes out.
I'm not watching it.
Is it weird that I'm interaction?
Oh, you're watching it, Tom.
I don't know how many times I have to tell you that.
I know you keep saying that, but that's not true. You're gonna watch it.
All right,
no,
S.
I'm not gonna watch it.
S. No, we already did it.
She Who Dances with the Wolfman definitely is my favorite. I mean, yeah, I agree.
I don't think anyone wrote better books like in a row.
It's my favorite, but it's fucking up there.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Tom, you got work to do.
Crossroads of Twilight.
Crossroads.
Thoughts on the cover, real quickly.
I'm sure.
I'm kidding. That's not the point of this.
Oh, you're serious.
Yeah.
Let's look at it for a minute.
Look
tWoTcast,
at it.
very small. Matt looks pretty cool.
I think that looks great.
It's fancy Matt, too.
Yeah.
Although we've discussed this in the past, and we're pretty sure that the guy next to him is Vannon, and he does not look like a fat sack.
That's not a fat sack. Do it.
Yeah, it is not fat enough for me. I mean, it could be another red arm, but like the way where he is doesn't seem like. It seems like it's Vannon.
So Crossroads of Twilight is obviously Book 9's bizarre like stepbrother, where you actually step backwards in time briefly. It's really kind of everyone kind of just recentering themselves after the cleansing of the taint. Is like the start of the first. Everyone's viewpoint really starts with that. So sometimes you start back in time, sometimes you start as that's happening. So Crossroads of Twilight was one of the most like bizarre, like, you know, kind of understanding how Robert Jordan saw time and viewpoints. Not one of the first, but one of the most obvious versions of it, because you all of a sudden step backwards briefly for the entirety of everyone. And it could be frustrating. It was also very confusing the first time you were reading, because you just finished the fucking thing. You just finished book 9. Jesus.
Goddamn.
DK Moon.
I mean, he's not wrong. It's low for me. It's just not.
It's not that low.
A lot of cool stuff happens. It's just catching all the timelines up to like the end of book 9.
There
so
is
like.
I forget if we were on air or before or right before we actually started, but we mentioned this and you guys were like, no, I love this book. It's not the slog and that kind of shit. There's a lot of Elaine. Yeah, and I like Elaine more than you guys.
There's a lot of Elaine in this.
A lot.
You're helping DK Moon.
I don't think any Rand until the last chapter or two, maybe even the epilogue.
Was Over in Blue a foreshadowing that he'd got?
Oh boy, Blue. That's 100% right. Jordan loved his.
I love that. Music I love that. That's over.
To me, this is a C.
Okay. DK Moon said, I assume we're trying to fill every category. Not necessarily at all.
No.
But
one book really claims the S spot. I mean, in that kind of sense of what's going on, I get it. It's definitely low for me. Cool stuff happens, but it's no.
I feel bad putting
Egwene gets captured, at the end.
I'll be honest, I feel bad putting Knife of Dreams at B. It's the last Robert Jordan book, and having it one notch above Crossroads of Twilight now hurts me. Like I know that's the point of
stop with the last Robert Jordan book. That has nothing to do with what we're talking.
It does.
This is definitely the worst Randless book, though, right?
Versus 3? Yeah.
But no.
Come on. What are you doing?
Okay, for me, since I read them all at once, I loved all the books. It's the rereads that brought it down for me. Oh, okay.
Interesting.
That's weird. The rereads, like, even the words, like, oh, it's a lot of Elaine. I mean, I said this before, but it's like, oh, it's not as much as I remembered. It's not that bad.
Yeah, and also
when I read it the first time, and I'm like inhaling the chapters, and I'm like, oh, another Elaine.
Yeah.
But like on a reread, I'm just like, yeah, I knew this coming. It's not so bad.
I remember.
Go ahead, John.
I remember grabbing like a book, right? Like you start an Elaine chapter or whatever, and like you just got this book like yesterday, the day before, and you quickly do how many more pages till the end of this chapter? Like not because there's anything wrong with Elaine, but all you scan for is like
you just want to see the next chapter icon be Matt or Rand.
How long is it gonna go? It doesn't have to be Matt or Rand. Are you kidding me? The Egwene shit too, like all of that. I'm not a sexist prick like you. Yes, I am. But like, you just kind of want to know how long for the Elaine shit before we get to what I want to, and then all of a sudden you find out that the Elaine chapters are awesome. You have Dwayne Millar.
Awesome.
I don't know,
Crossing
dude.
more like that or what?
I'll be that.
All right, be it. I'm gonna see it. Jono?
B or C. Let's go with C. Let's go with C because it's.
That's gross.
I don't have. I really do like the book more
Gross.
on second, but the ones above it, not on the same tier.
I was gonna say, like, to Tom's point, and Christian Rapper, upon a reread, I didn't have to wait for the next. It's better, actually. I mean, having read them all at once, like the way he
love. What's your favorite part of Crossroads of Twilight?
I don't have a Jordan book that I have below a B. Probably not an A, really.
But these are like, okay, fair enough. They're all fucking S tier. But literally, what's your favorite part of Crossroads of Twilight?
I don't know if
I just had to ask you what happened in the book. I'd already told you that the last book just merged into one giant blob.
I get that. That has nothing to do with book 10, though. What's your favorite part of book 10?
I don't care if it just went on and on.
You can't tell me
forever.
what the fuck happened in book 10 is the problem.
Your argument doesn't have anything to do with what I'm saying.
Well, it's because I'm not listening.
That's completely true, Jono. Good job.
Yeah.
The best part of Crossroads of Twilight is the last page. Thank God I finished that one.
Jesus, that's a little.
I mean,
tough,
it's tough for people that were reading along at the time. I mean, I think it is tough. Again, on a reread, it's way less painful because I can immediately pick up Knife of Dreams right afterwards, and I think that's what makes it better.
It's when you get to the end and you realize, like, I gotta wait 3 more years. The next one.
That's the thing. That's why it was this. That's why it was the slog.
Right. But I think it was just that book for me. Everyone describes the slog as like it's 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm like, no, it's not. It's like
I fully agree.
Yeah. But that being said, anyway, like Tom was saying, well, you're saying in retrospect that was confusing. Like this is the same thing. Like in retrospect, this book got better because I could read the next book right after it. But like initially, like this book was low for me. That's all.
Also, it's rectum spec. That's looking.
Oh, rectum. I'm sorry, I said that.
Yes.
Yeah, I can agree with the C if I can only do my mind frame from the very first time I read it, and then I finished it, and I was like, "Did Rand die?"
There you go.
I just remember baths. I read recently.
I guess if you go.
This is a good comment. Christian Rapper said you can feel the series was stretched out. Like books 9 through 10 could easily have just been one book. Okay. Or I mean, granted, one gigantic book, but like I understand what he's trying to say. Like plot line wise, like. The climax of 9 being the cleansing of the taint, and then book 10 was catching all their storylines up to the end of book 9. It's like it's kind of like
I don't really
pace this better and like put it all together. You know, I don't know.
There was a couple times along the way, right, where Jordan was like, "I'm gonna have to cut this into 2 books," and it didn't necessarily work out.
Yeah, wasn't the next book New Spring came after?
That's it, exactly.
That came after Knife of Dreams. Yeah,
it came after. No, it came before Knife of Dreams. Knife of Dreams.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, you're right. It did. Yeah, shit. Yeah,
so it came after book 10, and that's like what I was saying earlier. Is like that's the thing that like makes this so like difficult.
That made that extra painful. You're right.
You went to Winter's Heart and like the cleansing of the source to. All right, let's go back in time, and then let's really go back in time, and then let's go to book 11, and then let's die. Like, whose idea was to die here? It's terrible.
Imagine George R.R. Martin fans listening to us complaining because our favorite author during his favorite series took a 1-year break to write a 300-page novel about 2 of our favorite characters, and then got right back on the train.
In fairness, if you look at our text threads don't stop laughing about the fact that Robert Jordan has written more books than Patrick Rothfuss and George R. R. Martin in their main series, and he died 15 years ago plus.
You know, these books came out in '90. I mean, and ended in 2013, and there was 15 of them. They're pretty rapid fire.
Yeah.
Anyway, next book is New Spring.
News, Spring.
Joe.
E.
I love that I just call out names as opposed to myself because I'm just gonna yell shit later. So
honestly,
Joe.
I don't remember New Spring very well.
Well, you're a cunt.
I mean, I tend to skip it in my rereads, so like it's not like one.
Fuck? You know, it starts at the beginning technically.
Yeah, I know. So like when I'm rereading the series, I immediately want to read Eye of the World. so I tend to be like, fuck that.
Fair enough.
And then as I get into it, I'm like, should I read it in order? Should I read it after 10? And then I'm like, nah. I just keep going because I want to
reading in
after
order is
10,
interesting.
you just want book 11.
Oh, by the way, add The World of the Wheel of Time to the list. Because I actually, at least my first 5 or 6 in the Big White Book, I used to always read that between books 7 and 8 because that's when it came out.
I mean, I can add it, but it will just be text.
I don't give a fuck. That's good enough for me.
I got some text blocks down here. There you go. There we go.
Yes. Perfect.
Tom will come back and be like, "What the fuck?" Just add one.
While you're at it, just add the companion. But anyway, for me, because Tom's not here, that piece of shit. I love New Spring.
The World of
the Wheel of Time. WHEEL. TIME.
I'm good.
And then 80085.
Oh, hold on.
That's done. Calculator. Yeah.
Nope, it won't fit. It won't fit.
I've never heard that.
Weird. Weird that it won't fit on there.
Yeah.
It's almost like it was made to not fit.
Fair enough. Anyway,
so many people were like D, C. It started out awesome with Lan and the Aiel War, and then it fell off for me. I mean, like, as like a meeting of Moraine and Lan and getting to kind of see that's awesome as fuck. Maybe part of this is like I can't get past my initial frustration of like wanting the next book in the series.
that's
you know what I mean?
Right?
Like that's like frozen. Like
this
I
is
just
part of the
can't
slog.
Crack my brain or off of that.
It's very frustrating because that is part of the slog. It's not, I guess it is by definition his fault, but from a just kind of like unrelated point of view, it's very interesting.
Yeah. Tom, we're adding things.
I see that you're changing it.
The companion.
I mean, it was a request on the request line.
Oh wait, you're adding the companion.
And the world.
Here was the request line.
Oh, I thought you were adding the titles instead of the pictures.
Nope. Just adding new shit.
We're adding shit. We're adding shit requested.
At least
I read the novella, The New Spring, long before the novel, so that always confuses me which books they were sandwiched by. Oh yeah, that's true. But I also read the novella first as well because I got that it was in that like Legends anthology series.
Yeah, they were an anthology series, and that's an interesting point because like it's weird to take. It was a novella that became a novel, and it's still by far his smallest Wheel of Time novel.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thanks, Beach. Fully agree with you on that.
Well, I mean that's why I added it.
Now we have to go faster because we're like just over halfway through, and I don't have like all night.
All night.
Yeah,
all night.
We're fine.
I don't know how I feel about. I like New Spring. Like to me, like
Spring said I liked it. Find the baby, set the stage, team up with Lan.
Yeah, it's fine.
Fantastic.
It's fine.
Legends was a great anthology. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, let's just do Legends next.
Prequels create so many plot holes. Going by the events of New Spring, the Black Aja should never have caught Swan slipping.
So there is definitely that point too. Like
we're not going down that rabbit hole.
At any rate, New Spring for me
rating?
Low. D at best.
C. I'll go with C. I like C.
I refuse to go lower than C.
Yeah. I mean, Tom's right though. This is a Wheel of fucking Time.
C is like it's fine. So to go below C, I'd be like, it's bad, and none of these are bad.
I don't see that. I don't see that this way at all. It's funny how you guys see.
So maybe we should start off by like going backwards. Like if you could kind of almost
like
invent it.
Within this structure of like what we're ranking, F just means it's the least favorite. It doesn't mean it's an F. Like it got an F in school. Just
if you
it's my
scroll
least
backwards, what you don't see is there's a giant F that entire this is a subcategory of S's.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's
So it's
100%.
Oh, maybe we don't do that. That doesn't work. So maybe don't want to say SS, but they're all already S categories.
I decided what we should do next week. People that watch the show and that we've met at conventions.
I love this so much.
We're ranking individual people, real people.
Yeah, people
Not
we know
all
in
of
real
them.
life.
Some of them are dead.
And then we should do our friends after that.
All right, what's next, boys?
Alessandro, F for not returning my calls.
Next,
F+.
I guess. Well, let's do the. I don't know. Do you want to do one I think is going to be better, or one I think is going to be worse?
Worse.
Dragon Reborn.
Really?
Interesting. Tom, your thoughts?
Well,
It's
compared to the other one.
Dragon Reborn.
God, Balsamon just poking out of the corner like
He's a hovering face in their dreams with fiery eyeballs and mouth.
I love
Hovering
this
Face
book.
of Dreams was the other 10th book idea.
I love this
Hovering
book.
face in their dreams is season 1 of the show.
It's I don't know. It's a good part of the early journey, but it's the lowest of the first 6 for me.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't.
It's definitely our first injection in the
I'm
larger
not giving
series
my final answer yet.
where Rand is non-existent essentially.
Well, he does kill that one chick.
Yeah, but that's like the one, and it's one awesome scene. But that's like the only little taste. You get a little bit of taste of Rand,
I mean,
and then he's like gone, and then he pops up to the end.
For me, it's an A because it's where Matt finally becomes Matt. You get the Gala Gwyn scene with him.
Oh yeah.
It is cool when Rand kills that lady, and it is the opening of the book is good. The end with the Isle is good. The girls meeting the Isle, it's cool.
Well, let's be honest. It's the Matt
having,
Reborn.
Tom having the flu and just being and not wanting to stay with Mother Genna is not great, but I don't know. A, I think A.
Joe?
All right.
It just doesn't knock my dick in the dirt like some of the others.
Is that good or bad?
That's why I'm laughing. Knock my dick in the dirt.
Is that a phrase? Do the kids say that and I just don't
Just
know?
doesn't knock my dick in the dirt like these other books. I don't know. I mean, fuck, dude. I mean, you guys know how I feel about Matt. Let's be honest. This is the Matt Reborn.
I don't have a problem if you put it at S. To me,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, Joe, I want you to finish because I'm starting to rave in my mind all of a sudden. Or rant.
I love the Stone of Teir fight. I love Rand trying to revive the little girl like a lunatic.
I mean, we get
Nope,
golf.
I love-
No. Wrong book.
Joe,
is that
that's
Shadow Rising? My bad.
Yeah.
I love. All right, I didn't remember if that aftermath was included in this.
Wrong.
I do love Moraine busting in and just fucking bail firing Bilal. That's.
I love the fact that her last lines are "busting makes me feel good."
Boston makes you. I love Matt blowing a hole in the side of the Stone of Teir.
Hey,
Man, the Matt Tom shit, man. This is like Matt and Tom on the road buddy cop comedy. Like this is like one of my favorite.
I'm holding my shit down, man.
Although there's a huge lack of Rand.
I mean, that doesn't necessarily matter.
I mean, it does. When the first 2 books are like Rand centric books, and like you get a book, the third book is like no Rand. You're like, what the fuck? A little bit, just a little bit more. That's all. But I mean, Perrin and Moraine and the group and Fael like kind of chasing after Rand the whole book. Like
I enjoy that even.
I like it, but it's not as captivating as some of the other books. I mean, I don't know.
The stuff with No is good. The stuff with the Gaul is incredible. So I don't know.
A is an A for me.
Oh, you backed off.
No, I love all the Matt stuff. Like I love all the Matt and Tom. I love the girls in the world of dreams shit, and then treating Matt like shit when he saves them with Julian.
This is a tale of two
Jono
books.
Teir is one of the best fight. I mean, like, it's a really good fight.
This book starts off amazing
really good.
with Matt. It is the Matt Reborn book briefly. It's amazing. I think it's an extremely bold choice to just ditch your main character for literally 90% of it, and just this is when Robert Jordan just says, like, hey, this is not Rand al'Thor, this is all of them.
Yeah, Stone's here, Matt fighting the brothers. Yeah.
So you see, other than like butchering quickly a woman and then having weird dreams, you don't see him between the beginning and the end. Pretty interesting dichotomy there. You get.
Did you see Naked Moraine in this? But yes,
that is 100% correct.
Perrin definitely walked in on Moraine combing her hair,
and he watched her fishing for fish. If you know what I mean. That's what she does with.
I mean, this is a good point. Like, for Barely Any Rand, this is a good book. But the title is The Dragon Reborn.
It's a bizarre title, right? It's an amazingly bizarre title.
Well, the point is, like, once you pull the sword from the stone, you know, you're the Dragon Reborn or whatever. Like, that's why. But, like, I mean, I get it. I could take this. Hey, Wadaholic, man, what's up?
Oh, welcome. I think this may be S tier. I'll be honest. It is probably the weakest of the first 6, 7. But it's S tier. I guess. Like, for me, like, there's nothing more. What part do you not like? Yes, of course you want more Rand, but also this is when Matt
respect he truly deserved. I feel like they absolutely did not do that.
100%,
right?
Yeah, but like, this is when it begins. This is when Matt saves him more than once. I think this is S tier. I think this is Matt Cawthon becoming Matt Cawthon, as opposed to just kind of slightly annoying, sometimes more than piece of shit that he is in the first 2.
I thought Tickling Trout was the show scene.
So that's not necessarily trout. That might be salmon because they're closer to the ocean. So salmon flow up a river.
This is, I would say A. This is Crown of Swords. This is like,
yes.
It's not great hunt. It's not fucking Falm.
Again, I said S. You said A. And what just?
What Tom?
What?
Tom said S? Okay. As it is.
Oh, suck one, Joe. S for suck one.
I'm just trying to delineate between my S's.
Well,
if you want me to rank the books, I'm going to rank them all high. The World of the Wheel of Time. Let's do that real quick. I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Let's do it.
That's the big white book.
I mean, there's, the big white book.
With Teresa Patterson.
E.
Oh, no.
E for the worst artwork ever.
It is the worst artwork. I'll be honest.
There's like 2 good drawings in there, I think, that I was like,
there's a few drawings in there I was like, oh, okay.
You remember flipping through that for the first time being so desperately disappointed?
Oh, opposite. I thought this was the most amazing thing when it came out. You get a map of the Shanshan, you get a map of the Arth Ocean, you get a map of the entire world.
The map guy. Here we go.
Are you fucking kidding me?
We can't spend this much time on this book.
Yes, we fucking. It's at the least C.
Tell me your ranking.
It's C. All right, I get it. I get that there's a lot of things missing. You learn so much. This is the Strike at Shia Ghul. You like fuck me. C.
Then maybe D.
Wait, what are you saying?
You made me raise it from E to D.
All right, so you said D. All right. What did I say?
That's a good point, though. But I don't care for that. I don't like that you find out a lot of extras in this random.
Yeah,
book.
You know what I don't like? I don't like having to read an encyclopedia to learn shit.
It's like an Amazon Prime extra video. I'm like, oh, hey, watch this to understand this.
No, that's bullshit. No, don't bring that in. Don't bring that negativity.
For one thing with Jono Mask.
I love that for once. How dare you watch this show and for once?
I mean, Wallaholic is well known to think that you're okay, Jono, at best. You know, like,
at best.
Like,
you're ahead of my wife. Her thoughts.
As for sharing a name with Lance Horse. Oh, does that say Horse? All right, D it is.
Cunts.
Why have an encyclopedia when
it's fine.
before
It's
you
a blog.
have the end of the books?
Also, how about the
That's
temerity
actually-
to have a fucking
that's
encyclopedia
actually a
literally
really good book.
halfway? Like, that's
think
amazing.
You must have said the same thing. All right, do the companion.
I said it in an
Companion.
appreciative way.
B.
See,
No, it's C.
Same. All right, C is fine, I guess.
C.
I mean,
It's the
C
same
for
thing.
companion, you know?
Ooh,
it's just
you know
a-
what? I may be a B.
God
I'll be
damn
honest.
it.
B. Do you know how
We're
much work? I'm gonna go with Joe's B. Do you know how much work must have gone into this? Like, look at. Like, I don't know if people appreciate what weirdness went into Jordan's notes. Like, some of which were
If you,
handwritten.
if you
some of
put
which
this
were on
book at a B, then you have to pick one of the C books, and you're not allowed to read it ever again for the rest of your life.
That means
If you
you have
put
to
it-
insert. You have to
You
insert
can't
the
put it
companion
above
into your
one of the
reread.
novels. That's
All right, fine.
ludicrous.
C. C.
All right, I'm
fine.
putting the companion at an S.
Insane.
Well, I mean, if you flip to Tom Maryland, there's some really good artwork there.
Oh yeah, maybe
yes, B.
yes. That's Joe's artwork. Joe's a published Wheel of Time artwork. It makes me so fucking happy.
There's a Wheel of Time artwork or a book with my art in it. That's all I'm
It's
saying.
like, what do you think about this book series? I'm like, I don't know, it was okay, but I mean, the side project of Encyclopedia they did was really good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd put it with the white book.
Well then, too fucking bad because I'm giving it a C.
All right, fine. Well, we got those out of the way.
All right, Path of
Thank you for
Daggers.
discovering the land of madmen.
Path of
Alright.
Daggers.
Path of Daggers. Where the fuck am I?
That's book 8.
I like that cover.
I
Yeah, it's
like that
great.
cover. I think that's a great cover. Not only that, it actually seems relevant as opposed to.
You know, it's funny because this is one of the least memorable ones to me, but it's also like really good. Like, I don't know why I don't like it. It's not frozen in my mind as.
It might be your sense of irony.
Honestly,
Yeah.
yeah, it's because it doesn't suck.
Hmm.
I like that Tom and I are on the Dr. Hoare and I are on the same page.
Dr. Hoare.
Oh, me and Sled Cola have a lot of the same ideas.
God damn it! Now I'm just thinking of Norm Macdonald.
Who would?
Doesn't help me at all.
Where are they in the book though? Jesus. So this book is obviously you pick up at the end of book 7 and end of book 9.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No. So like the fight in the end of this is awesome.
I might be very.
Like they
drunk.
attack him and Carrion, right? The Black
What's
Raja
that?
betray him.
Oh yes, that's correct.
That's
Obviously.
a fucking awesome fight.
It's an amazing
Again,
fight.
like-
and it's what's been clearly boiling over it because like everything about like when as a reader, especially if you're a younger teenage boy, which give Tom your number, like you're very excited for like what Rand is starting to groom here. Again, give Tom your number with a grooming term.
Good lord, what are you
Just
doing?
take credit.
But like it's excited the fact that like he's created the farm, he's created
Wait, what are
all
you
this
talking-
stuff.
Oh no, Glenn. I was talking about the companion, buddy. I was like, what is he talking about? Did Joe just take credit for the big
white book of
big white
no,
book
no,
of bad art? I was like, no, that's
Joe quickly
the
separated himself from that.
companion, my lord.
But like there's so much like very interesting things about what he's trying to do. Almond Bunt's wife.
Jono, I'm sorry, keep interrupting.
Almond Bun's
Sorry, let's
dead
catch
wife.
Jono. Let's catch up with chat real quick.
Dead
So
wife.
couldn't have learned have learned about Almond Bunt's wife without it. That's good.
Dead wife.
Dead,
Dead
wife.
dead
Matt-
wife.
Well,
Tom
he
is
didn't
right.
write that. That is Matt's free book, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, this is a zero Matt book for me. So that's
a
no
giant
good.
problem.
That's no good.
But anyway, so the joke I've been trying to make and now gotten weirdly and weirder creepy about it is the fact that like this is really when it comes home to roost that like what sounded like an awesome idea to bring the Ashaman backfires massively. Because I love this idea, right? Like as a reader, you're like excited for the fact like he's going to bring this back. That they had been kind of, we get why they weren't really allowed, Hulk going insane and killing everything, but at the same time, like, bring them in, clean the source, you're good to go. Ends up there may be a dark friend at the top of the fucking rope here, and it's not great.
Yeah,
it's dark as fuck, really. If I could really think about what happens here, this is bad.
This one's just hey, this is what's happening, and at the end, like, they get attacked by the Ashaman, right? Like, it's just kind of this one almost feels like a catch-up book a little bit.
It does. It's very Crossroads of Twilight. It's not as bad, but it's very Crossroads of Twilight in that respect. And then I also think that it's got like, I don't know, a little bit of like
Monica.
I mean, yeah. Well, you're lacking Matt, but that was on purpose to like fuck with us. Like, is he dead or alive? Like, we don't know. Kind of thing. And which in retrospect,
the red hot rod in this part?
I don't remember.
This may be because there's no map, but it's right after they left Abu Dar.
Yeah.
This is technically a setup
sex
then.
The whores, once they call you a whores for forever, it's unfair. Norm.
It's true. Good old horse son. I was gonna say something relevant, but I quit.
Where are we put?
Glenn said I always found it ironic the title of this book, Matt is not in. The Path of Daggers. It's not the Ruby Hilted dagger, though. I mean, it's fine.
No, but it's a Shan-Chan staying.
So Matt's not in the Path of Daggers, and Rand's not in the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah, there you go. It should get a D for starting the most boring, stretched out plot in the series. That Fayol plot was dreadful.
Whoa, calling her stretched out is really fucked up, man.
Jeez.
Well, that's what he meant, right?
What else could he mean?
We know what they do with ice peppers in Saldia. I don't know. This one.
What does ice peppers look like, by the way?
I just assume.
It had the whole alien campaign against the Shan-Chan.
That's what I was gonna say though. Like the shit that happens with the Shan-Chan with Rand has like what's his name? Git Kalendor.
It's one of my favorite parts.
It's indelible, right? Like this is him showing the positive and negative of what the fuck he is. Like a giant, amazing campaign to sweep them west. And then also a giant, I've lost my mind and murdered my own people in the general vicinity. It's
all right. What are you rating it? B?
A?
A.
Oh. I'm a B then.
I'm at best a B. I was gonna say C.
What the fuck?
Again, this is down there with the Crossroads of Twilight for me. It was. I mean, which is why I'm going B. It's better than that, but it's not as good as
B.
Crown of Swords.
All right, we're into B.
Did you guys who read the books when they first came out think that Matt was dead?
No,
not at all. Not at all. And obviously, like so the three of us, at the very least, we read it as they were coming out. No, I can tell you that because I yelled.
I didn't think he was dead. I was concerned that he could.
Were we supposed to? When the next book came out and he wasn't in it, were we supposed to think like, oh, Matt died?
I think that's kind of what they were going for, or what he was going for. I mean, a little bit. I think he was kind of like, I'm going to leave this hanging and fuck with you even longer. I didn't think he actually was going to kill Matt, but like at the same time, I'm like, we don't get to hear what happened to Matt still. Like, it wasn't like, I think it wasn't necessarily that I thought he was dead, is that I wasn't sure if he was dead or alive. And he could have gone in that direction if he wanted to. You know? B for Buried Under a Wall.
All right. Anyway, next book is Gathering Storm.
A Gathering Storm.
I don't know what to do. Fuck.
Now, is that sleeve draped over his hand?
Or his wrist?
It's clearly draped over his hand, right?
Also, he's a very, like, what happened to him? Look at, like, show his legs again.
Show his legs
again? Yeah, show the fucking picture.
I can't zoom in.
those are some thin fucking legs for a man who's as muscular as Rand is. Like, I'll be honest, I'm a little biased because I got big old thick legs.
You're
Especially that
wrong,
third one.
Jono. There's no perspective in that. That's how tall Avienda is.
Yeah.
It's just how big he is.
So he's 8'6".
Yeah.
And those are still thin fucking legs. I think those are for a man who's like, gonna go fight someone with hand, fist, spear, like all that shit. Sword.
Chicken legs. Not a well-turned
Not a well-turned cap. This is disappointing shit here. Like, that's the Tom O'Hara of covers. Notice how Tom
Glenn said actress and rapper. I never thought he was dead, but I was a little irate at the lack of him in this book. I mean, I was
That's
more
fair.
than irate.
I think we were all irate. Yeah.
Again, it's not that I really thought he was dead. It's that the possibility of him being dead was there, and I still didn't have an answer after waiting 2.5 years or whatever it was for an answer. And, like, it was less that, like, I was like, oh, he's actually fucking dead. I was just like, holy shit, what happens? And then you don't get to find out. You're like, what the fuck? It's that part. It's not, it's less, I don't know.
I'd be fascinated by the dichotomy between those who read as things were happening versus those who were able to pick it up at a later date. Because it's definitely a different.
I have a totally different cover. I mean, it might be.
You're missing out.
It might be an ebook cover. The ebook covers are largely.
You know what E stands for?
Largely better.
Evil.
Gathering Storm. What do you think, Jono?
I don't like. First off, F for Robert Jordan being dead. Like, fuck that. Like, I still remember that. I remember calling you when that happened. Like, when I read it.
Gathering Storm is working its way up from F right now.
Yeah, that's a start. Like,
that's where we're starting.
Oh my god!
I literally remember the day I called you, just telling you, like, "Hey, I heard Robert Jordan's dead," and like, just like, I remember where I was. That was fucking tough. Like, what a weird thing to have an emotional connection to, but at the same time, like, yeah, of course I fucking do.
Well, we've been doing a podcast on the Wheel of Time series for 15 years, so like,
at the time, we've been doing that for 15 years at the time, and like that.
I'm just saying, it's not a weird thing in hindsight that you had that strong connection.
That fucking sucked.
Yeah.
As for the actual book, so we're gonna start from an F, and it's only up from here.
I remember you calling me and telling me that, and then I was kind of like, I might as well have done that number in like a movie where you're just like, oh, you get bad news and you just lower the phone and your jaws open, like kind of thing, and they're still talking like, I don't know what I'm, like kind of thing, and I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't like that hit hard. Also, I was this kind of like, not that I'm an ultra positive human being, but for some fucking reason, I was like, he's not gonna die. He's fine.
Well,
everyone's like, he's sick, and I was like, he'll fine. Look, he's at the Mayo Clinic now. Everything's gonna be okay, guys. Calm down. Like that's kind of like, I wasn't necessarily like, there's no way.
All of his blog posts were very positive.
Yeah,
and like, if somebody has money, they'll be fine.
Yeah, I was just like, he's gonna be okay. And then when you called and it was like actually happening, I was like, oh fuck, okay. What does that mean? What does it
mean?
What does it mean for me, selfishly, as a reader?
So anyway, it meant he was dead, and someone else wrote the books.
Gathering Storm, the prologue itself, just the memory of him reading that aloud at Jordan Con 1, S tier. Now come down from that. The Matt chapter, god damn. The Sanderson bits. All right, I've said this in years past, like on our podcast before, so I don't want to reiterate myself too much, but
too late.
Sanderson clearly focused on certain characters that he needed to nail in book 12, and that is Rand and Egwene, and a lot of the other characters kind of fell by the wayside, and he kind of phoned them in. And then, book 13 and 14, I think he kind of like found his footing with those. But like, he really zeroed in on making sure those main characters were, of that book at least, were like written well and to like our standards.
Well, Matt has a personality.
That made like the characters that he was not paying much attention to, like, pale in comparison, sort of. I don't know.
Tom.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll thread the middle ground like it's my wife. Like the fact is that like Matt Cawthon, and I've said it probably 69 times before, that like that is the most opposite character to anything that Brandon Sanderson has ever understood. This is a gambling, like post-war dude. Like, that's not what. Like, that's Robert Jordan. Robert Jordan, if you look at his bio,
serial gambler, had gambling.
He loves this kind of lifestyle. Brandon Sanderson, gamer, only a couple letters different, little bit different though in emphasis. Like that's not his guy.
Matt's a real character. Sanderson can't write character. He can write the idea of
he's good at writing
an archetype.
Yeah.
He cannot write a personality.
But why does he like architects so much?
Whataholics. I remember where I was in my kitchen in Western Australia.
Oh, you're Australian?
Which is fair because that's where he is 90% of the time.
And the rest he is in.
I was sitting in the bathroom, of course. I was sitting in a chair about 10 feet above where I'm currently sitting. What, 10 feet above? I read that RJ.
He probably has a second story to his house.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see. Either that or it's really a weird question.
Didn't know his gambling nature. That's something I learned today, in addition to when Wheel of Kings was published.
Well, this is a very informative show. Like if you look on the back end page of every book, it was like he loves like.
If you've read Mistborn Era 2, then you would understand this. Matt reminds me of Wayne.
So the Wax and Wayne novels are interesting, but I feel like that he picked up Wayne more. I would disagree with you. I think that he picked up the Wayne character after having written that.
Well, I think that's what he's trying to say. He's like, this reminds me of like, that's his attempt at writing a personality, basically, is what he said.
I don't think that came out the
Wax and Wayne novels, by the way.
It did. I mean, Suzanne Anderson is great at a lot of things, but yeah, flashing that shit all over town like Matt does, not great.
He's good at ideas.
So back to the actual like cover here or the book here.
B.
Dude,
for me.
What is it, Tom?
I think B for me.
It's definitely not S tier, but it's up there just because I fucking love the fight at the White Tower with the Queen fighting off the Shan. Like, I fucking love it.
I think this is B.
It's too jarring. This one's just too jarring for me.
It's also just like I cannot make this reread. No offense.
It's hard.
I'm extremely appreciative of everything that Brandon did, but this can't rate higher than like some of these books here. Are you kidding me? Book 11, book 13. Wait, that's not Robert Jordan. Book 9. Like, get the fuck out. This is a B tier.
All right, I feel like we're too focused on Sanzo Branzo versus Robert Jordan though. Like,
well,
just
next time maybe make Robert Jordan
the actual
right.
book contains.
B.
I wasn't
B.
Too focused on it. It's just very jarring. Like when I read the book, that was my.
I mean, it's better than Knife of Dreams for me. It's definitely better than Towers of Midnight. I think.
What the fuck?
Again, the climactic fight at the White Tower is better than
That's
Towers
one fight. That's one fight that I don't even know if I agree with that either. It's also like a character who's become just like.
Then I'd put it at a B. I think it's a B.
B.
All right. Are we all B?
Be yourself.
I was good with B.
Okay.
Yeah. To quote one of the best Christmas movies of all time, Just Friends. Be
all
yourself.
the good parts were RJ's notes. Probably. I skipped this book because it's so bleak. It's well written, but it's so dark. Interesting.
I love how dark it is.
Darker than.
I think it seems dark because it lacks personality.
Oh,
is it dark because of the Rand
It's not
stuff?
that. No, the Rand stuff is dark as fuck. I get that. Also, the Queen being captured. I think it's good. Like most of this is very good stuff, but it's not as good as other things. All right, bring us home here with 3.
It lacks heart. That's
Shut
all.
the.
Okay.
Well, Fires of Heaven.
All right, Fires of Heaven.
That's enough.
I don't know what this artwork's
You just
from.
say that's an S. Because that's amazing. It's
It
an S.
is an S. It's an S. It's an S. I don't know what this artwork's from. I'm clearly drunk and stuttering. Is that supposed to be?
Shader logo?
It's not
Ruidian? Is that Ruidian?
No, it should be Rudy.
Well, what else would it be?
It doesn't matter.
I think I made a mistake. I left 3 really big guns for the end.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It could just be SSS.
Whoa!
I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it could be.
Yeah, odds are.
Fires of Heaven. I mean, again, so this is Kadir Skinsack.
Fires of Heaven has like 3 finales. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I know. God damn, it's so good.
It's S. It's S. Like,
It's
this
S
could be
by
done in
a
7
mile.
seconds. It's
Yeah.
S. It's S.
It should be
it's
done in
S.
7 seconds. We have 2 more to discuss.
The attack on Robin. Yeah.
Everything about this is
You for better learn how to handle a hilt left hand.
Somebody tell me how it's not an S. It's an S.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take the bear case here.
Christian Rapper said that's my favorite book of his, and that's a solid fucking response.
Fuck yeah, Christian Rapper. Hey,
Top
4,
shelf
5,
for
6.
me.
4, 5, 6 is when we start popping the fuck off.
Can you imagine writing a better trilogy of books like in the middle of your
Dude,
series?
yeah. Fuck.
What a fucking asshole Robert Jordan was.
I mean, if
Oh,
fucking-
incredible.
I mean,
If
the first
Dragon
3 are
Reborn is up
incredible.
there on S, then so is Fires of Heaven. Like, hands down. You know?
The first 3 are incredible because they're like the slow burn and the small country kids, and like, oh, this is great. And I love it. And it feels like home when you read them. And then you get to these 3, and they're just like, holy fuck, let's go, let's go.
You know what we should do? What are you guys doing next week? Do you want to talk about book 4? Like in depth?
Yeah, let's talk about book 4. You want to talk about Shadow Rising?
Yeah, I do.
I'd like to do a reread podcast.
If not the most the most complete, then top 3. Okay.
Yeah. Fair
I will
enough.
never forgive RJ for not showing Matt versus Couladin. That does destroy.
Understandable, but also it's a weirdly like I don't
I mean,
have to show you.
The cover is the attack on. That's what that is.
Yeah,
Fuck.
it's kind,
That's
it
actually
kind of
good.
does.
Show that. Show the cover again.
Yeah, they're looking around. They're
Let
like,
me
oh,
click
no.
buttons,
You don't
Jono.
know.
So they just jumped into Camelin.
I mean,
I
it makes
guess that
complete
makes
fucking
sense.
sense. That's exactly what it is. God damn. That's
But why is it that Avienda is just waving hello to someone
just
as she's about to
you
get
lost
fucking
the
murdered?
opportunity to show like so much going on.
They're looking
know?
around. The city's abandoned. The wall's about to explode. Those 2 are about to die, and then Rand's gonna be like, Robert!
Vampire.
I guess so, but like they showed up with not just the 3 of them. You know what I mean? Like of all the like
They
this
were
is this
searching-
scenario or like a crossroads scenario. Like you need more. I need more of an army on horseback kind of.
I love that you just showed 6 people versus 5 people. Like
Listen, the covers wrap around, Jono. Like Path of Daggers shows like tons of it. That's what I'm talking about. This is what it should be. Path of Daggers.
That cover does look
Reminds
like
me of-
Rand, Matt, and Avienda just went to an escape room, but it was a city.
They're like, oh, did anyone see the key in a box?
Matt's looking back like maybe.
Maybe we just go out the door.
Anyway, S.
Yeah. All right. I don't even know why
S.
we're talking about it. It's fucking S.
Probably because we had a great comment from the chat.
Well, it's also our whole fucking point of discussing this.
Oh, there's a
figure out where
reason
they
for
go.
this show.
It's got to figure out where they go.
Tom, I assume we're going 6 and ending on 14, yeah?
Yeah.
S.
F.
You said F, right? As in
What are we
for Frank?
talking about? We're talking about
Lord of
6 and
Chaos.
14.
Yeah.
F.
Lord of Chaos. S
The hard
tier.
F.
Also,
Tom.
look how thin his legs are.
Jono, that's all perspective. See, she's in the foreground, but her cloak
and
is
the
just
foreplay.
flowing down onto the ground. Her legs actually are at the same point where Rand's are. Her feet are.
I hate this cover so much, but it's also like incredible.
I remember that cover and just going like, "What the
What
fuck?
the fuck?
That's not what Rand looks like." So when book 7 came out, I was like, "There you go." Like, what are you doing? Book 6, do my as well. Cut the fuck out of here. Come on, we're done.
S. Yeah.
I mean, like Rand being in a box, like not just the fight. The fight is amazing, but not just the fight. It's all of the shit building up to the fight, like him being stubborn and sitting in the throne room and can't carry all the time, like lunatic. Like they trick him into like they get him into the box, like they don't figure it out right away. Like like the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
God damn, so good.
Yeah.
Fabio Rand.
Yeah. Everything about this is it's just one of the fucking best books, one of the best covers. Again, the cover itself is bizarre.
No, the cover itself is horrible.
But it works though.
He does.
It makes me really happy.
The best trilogy of all time is 4, 5, 6. I mean, like, goddamn, I don't think I can argue with that.
Have you tried 1, 2?
Fuck, they're really
that's
good.
not right.
Dude.
That's not a trilogy.
Like, I mean,
it may be 4, 5, 6.
First of all, 1, 2, and 3 are all S tier right now. Currently for us. And so is 4 and 5.
But
so
4, 5, 6,
we're about to put 6 right up there. But like, man, 4, 5, and 6 are so much better than 1, 2, 3. So, like, we should just be like, a little bit. Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that, and I apologize for yelling over you a minute ago. I apologize for that.
That's okay. I yell over you all the time.
It's true, and I get upset about that every time, and I send dick pics to you. I think that the thing is, like, there's a difference between 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, and that, like, this is now an author who is like established. Like, so like the way the books are supposed to flow are a little different.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, you've created something fucking original and different. 4, 5, 6 are holy shit, you're consistent as can be.
Yeah.
Like, that's nuts. Like, those are nuts books. And they're 1,000 pages each in paperback. Like pretty much. Like, goddamn, man. This is a guy who like had a hard on for fucking writing something. It's insane when you really think about it.
Loyal's response to Perrin when he told him that Rand was kidnapped was freaking epic. It's the best way to say, let's freaking go. All right. We gotta fucking go! That applies to Star Wars too. Okay.
S.
Yeah, S tier for this. Come on. Who the fuck are we talking about? Rand in a box is like the best fucking like. And I know we've talked about it before. I think the only time I'm as concerned in the entire fucking series is when Rand is strangling men.
In book 13, right? Is that 13 or 12? 13 or 12. Either way, when he taps into the true power.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's just Rand strangling men.
Yeah, that's the
like 11.
darkest. It's not 11. It's a Brandon Sanderson book. So I think 12 or 13. It's got to be 12.
Maybe 12.
That's the darkest fucking thing.
It's not 13. It's 12.
All right. So it's towards the end of.
Anyway, that like I've never read those. I mean, like in my memory, when I do a reread of book 6, like the time that he's in a box is like a quarter of the book, and in reality, it's like 60 pages or something. Like it's like nothing. It's nothing. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my god! Like I've never read faster to get to the end, and like how satisfying is the end? Like when he breaks out and shit. Like fucking so good, dude.
Yeah.
Wadaholic said end of 12 from memory. Yeah. It's in book 12. The strangling men thing. Anyway, yeah. That's up there. Lord of Chaos. John, did you just fart again?
No. Yeah, my chair is. It's just me shitting myself gently.
Did you fart again?
Gently.
John, did you fart again?
Gently.
Tom, I assume you agree with the S. Oh, he's being quiet because he can't talk. Moving on, Jono. Should we do a memory of light? What is it called? A memory of light?
It's called Memory of F tier. F at the fucking bottom.
What the tier.
Because it all ends. Because it all fucking ends. And
Oh, that's why? Oh, okay. I thought you were going to
no,
say something
as far as the actual book, S. I don't know how to judge this book. Like, I think that, yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
Don't want to get emotional here. Joking, of course.
Can you hear me now?
No.
We absolutely can.
Yes, we
Jesus.
can.
That was a lot of work.
Well, we're talking about A Memory of Light. You didn't miss anything.
Amol.
We just started.
And Tom, I just said that it's F tier, as in fuck it, because it makes me sad that it all ends.
I don't see how this is not S.
It's definitely S.
I'll tell you why it's not S, Tom.
It's S. I say what you will, and
It's
God
A
knows
tier
I'll
because
fucking-
Pat and Fane, and that's where I'll end that.
Look, we have Pat and Fane.
If your
We got
opinion of
what's-
this series hinges on what happens with Pat and Fane, that's
It just means it's not as good as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and
no. Then we have to
Well,
read
hold
the
on
Great
there.
Hunt down. Because
What else you got, Lou Vega? Yeah. Again,
3, 4,
there
5.
are many complaints about this thing, and I think Peyton Fane is one of the most disturbingly just terrible plot points in the entire series. Like, no matter which author you're talking about, Peyton Fane is like just a fucking just giant disappointment. But this book ends. This series ends, and it ends pretty fucking well.
Mm-hmm.
S.
Okay. Tom,
I don't
why
know.
is it
I
S
don't
for
know.
you?
I don't know if you just want to go by the people you're disappointed like about their ending. Ruark.
Oh.
But like I think you should be sad, like bummed out by the way some of this shit goes.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I don't know.
But I feel like the Pat and Fane thing is like, I'm not sad that Pat and Fane ended that way. I feel like he was mishandled. Like,
should we
I agree. Oh my fucking God, we all agree. We all
should we have felt like Matt was Pat and Fane's nemesis at any point?
No. Oh, they grabbed
Like,
the dagger together. Next
Matt-
thing you know, like,
Did they get to this final book and we're like, wait, Matt doesn't have a nemesis to fight?
it's the golem. No, that's not
because
right.
he killed all his nemesises, the golem, and everybody else that's ever bothered him, and then he fucking won the fucking
like-
war.
Parent versus
He's-
Slayer, Ram
he's
versus
done enough.
Darkwood, and then like, I guess Matt kills Pat and Fane or something. I don't know.
I do think maybe that was some reductive reasoning. Like, maybe that's why that happened. But again, that's reductive and shit. But again, all that aside, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I could argue
This
for
book-
hours
yeah,
about why
Content
this
ending
book.
ticked me off.
Agreed. Look, so many things suck.
I
I absolutely
with
hate the ending epilogue. You can tell that it was written really early. Sanderson had to fit everything to match that ending in RJ's notes, which he should
first off-
have had to do.
Yeah, that's weird.
I will say this.
But
I know that
Was it done well? Yeah, I get that. Sorry, John, what were you saying?
No, I was going to say exactly what you said. That's unfortunately his job, and unfortunately, I mean very fortunately. Not everything here was what I would have wanted at all.
Yeah,
But
whatever you disagree with, I mean, it was still there and it was
Thank
still
you,
awesome.
Wada.
They still had a big, fat, fun, like last battle.
again, let's
Yeah.
go back to book 11. I remember calling Joe after he died. So the fact that we got something that wasn't just some,
Just
like,
having an
Yeah.
ending, period?
Right after Joe died.
yeah, I remember. Oh God,
Yeah.
like, every time Joe dies, I jerk off. I remember calling them. The fact that there was an ending. What 10? No, not 10 years later. That was 2017.
Tommy
so
just kicked the
6
door and said "Do stove," and then he shot me, and I went.
Guess what? Blood dripped down, and I knew he was going to rebirth, so I ran straight over there and
I knew it
shot
was
him
gonna
again.
respawn. I shot him again. Yeah, all right. I mean, I agree with you. Like all my grievances, still S tier, I guess.
S tier.
I was gonna at minimum A,
No
just
matter
because of what we have in S tier, but like still S.
look, no matter what I think about it, S tier. Like
S tier.
it's the last book. We see all the shit. Like it goes crazy. I'm in.
S tier. Yeah.
All right, fuck.
Also, you know what we should do? We should crowdsource a fan fiction version and see how bad that would actually be.
Which one had the glossary entry of who killed Asmodean? We should drop that down a tier.
13. I believe that was a 13.
It's already at the end. That's fine then.
I think that might be the most disappointing thing, and that's actually a giant red flag against.
I mean, I feel that, you know what? I don't know what I was expecting when we started this, but like that's pretty good.
I was expecting everything to be.
It actually looks like the word "fuck." It looks like it's F. Like, look at it. Go again. What the fuck happened?
I don't know. I'm fucking shit up. Sorry.
Oh, it looks like it's just F.
It's just F tier for the entire series.
Yeah.
I'm shocked we have books on C tier.
As for stroking one off in a new body, he's using that left hand.
No, Joe, here's the thing. He's not using any hand at all, but he's also not using the one power. How's he doing?
Oh,
it?
shit.
But
Are you talking about letting the pipe without letting the pipe? Oh, my God.
Read on and find out.
It's amazing.
Fucking holy shit. So that's tWoTcast for this week. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below. tWoTcast theme songs brought to you by the one and only Taffy Bennington and legendary Andrew Bard of Time. Links to their stuff is below. I mean, I know we say this all the time, but go listen to their stuff. It's fun. It's fun stuff. Their links are down there. Join us next episode for more Wheel of Time covering, I don't know. I think we're done with this tier list shit, right?
No, we're doing some fucking Wheel of Time, though.
Yeah, I know. We're always going to do Wheel of Time, Jono. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are we doing the read
of
the Shadow Rising?
And what? Where did the Shadow Rising end up?
Oh, S tier.
Yeah.
I'm Joe. Say goodnight, Jono.
Good night, Jono.
And Tom.
Study your math.
Keep the change, you filthy animals.
Among the first to start, the tWoTcast was so smart to lovingly bash our favorite books. But that was long ago, and now they've grown the show, and now they got us in their hooks. Don't throw coins to these bastards, they need bars of gold at least. Someone please keep them afloat. Now let's listen as they once again ramble through a book. Let's get the fucking quote. One of them is Tom, but he is barely on. Sometimes he calls into the show. Another one is Jono. Is he their joker? Oh no. And Joe, is he the stupid one? Welcome to the tWoTcast. We will share our love for books and all our hate in every episode. We'll entertain you, make you laugh so hard you barely can stand up. That is the tWoTcast code.